Another thing that people don't know about me is that I am actually visually impaired. When I was diagnosed, my parents actually didn't have any idea that I had this diagnosis or that I carried this gene or trait that was given to me by my birth parents. So when I was diagnosed, I also found out that I was adopted. So it was kind of two things hitting me at once.
She started playing violin, and I noticed that the violin teachers tell us that you need to get her eye checked because she had hard time to see the page, for the music. I said, first I thought, oh, maybe she just lazy kid do there. Then she get into the elementary school, and I know this first year she got in the first grade, and she had hard time to read. So that's how we started. I take her to the doctor, and the doctor said, put her back 6 months. Maybe she's nervous, and put her back 6 months, and that's rechecked. So I waited more than 6 months, by the almost in the second grade, and I take her back, and they decided, no, they cannot help her.
So what I have is called cone dystrophy, and it is a macular degenerative disorder, which when I was in 3rd grade, I had no clue what that meant. But so basically, I was born with my retinas not fully developed, and my rods were not fully developed. And so your rod is basically the center of your eye. So it's like where your pupil is. And so, and my cones are deteriorating. And so my vision right now is about 2400, and 2200 is legally blind. So I've passed the legally blind mark. And it's scary. But so down the line, obviously my cones are still deteriorating, and it's once they do fully deteriorate, I will be I will be completely blind. I will lose my sight. I guess I'm not. I know what's going to happen, and I might not completely lose all of my vision. I might stay where I'm at right now, or I might lose it completely. And to be honest, I don't really think about the future, I guess, as much as I like to focus on what's going on right now, just because I know that these are the memories that I want to have. This is what I want to remember. So I don't really think about down the line what's going to happen, but it does scare me to think about not having my vision, I guess, just because even though my vision isn't as good, it's still been a part of my life, I guess. First
time I hear she had there nothing we can do about it, and she can lose her sight, and that's the most horrible thing to hear. Your child gonna lose their sight. You just can't help them about it. But we just do our best and see how they go. I think it really hit me. This sounds really cheesy. It kind of hit me on my 16th birthday when I couldn't get my license, which sounds really cheesy, but it was a realization that I'm not going to be able to drive. I can't get my license, and it hit me very hard. I remember crying on my 16th birthday, but it hit me, and it's something that I realized was going to impact my life forever. That was kind of the day where I was like, wow, this is it. Sometimes it's hard. You tell people you had disability, and they kind of don't know what to do with you, and kind of stand back and kind of leave you alone. Now I think it is a horrible thing to do to the children. Don't do that. I mean, just put them in like everybody else. Definitely for anyone with a disability, it's hard, and we have our days where it's very draining, it's very tiring, it's hard to push ourselves. But I think for people with disabilities, working towards the goal, reaching our goals, and they don't even have to be I'm gonna go to the moon. They can be small goals, but just succeeding those goals for someone with a disability, I feel, is very, very rewarding. Because for me, homework and schoolwork takes me twice or 3 times as long as a normal student. But for me to say that I can accomplish doing my homework, and yes, it does take me longer,
but if I can do the same work as someone else, you know, that's me reaching my goals. You know, a lot of people don't know that I'm visually impaired, and so when I did my variety show act, they were like, oh, that's so cool, and then someone was like, oh yeah, she's visually impaired, and to them they're like, what? You know, like they don't expect it, I guess, from people with disabilities. But I think for people with disabilities, it's so rewarding to know when you've reached toward a goal or you've worked so hard to get somewhere and you finally reached it. I think it's very rewarding.
Give her opportunity, let her do it. She can do it. She can accomplish stuff like that whenever she's doing. You know, give her a chance to go out there, dance or play and have a good time with it. You know, instead of thinking she had a disability and afraid to use her or something like that. No, that just hurt me the most.
I finally understand now that my visual impairment, although it is draining and it is some days very, very overwhelming and very stressful, it's made me so much stronger. And it's an obstacle every day, you know, to have this, but every day where I overcome it, I'm becoming stronger. And, you know, I blamed him for it at first. I blamed God for that, and now I realize that it was more of a, I guess, hidden blessing.